Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Berkeley County Board of Education public budget hearing, Monday, June 24th, 2024. I call this public hearing to order. I declare a quorum is present. Mr. Ramsey is on the phone, which makes quorum, and the media has been notified according to the Freedom of Information Act. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Ms. Littleton, a second by Mr. Ramsey to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 5-0. We'll now move on to the public budget hearing for the 2024-2025 general fund budget. Thank you, Mr. Abrahamson. And if you are here to speak for public comments, you do have to register on the iPad on the side. So if you would like to speak for public comments, please register. So when we get to that portion, we can call you up.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Wofford, board members, Dr. Dixon, and members of our public and cabinet. Tonight we bring before you the public hearing for our 24-25 general fund budget. First of all, we've talked about this in our last budget workshop, but in our first reading, but this is a 10-year snapshot of our millage history. As you can see, our current year millage for 24-25 is decreasing from 151.8 to 141.9, which is 1 mil less than what we had in 2014-15. We have been waiting on the state legislature to finalize their FY 24-25 budget. As of Friday, it was not finalized, but they did have a happy medium, and it will go back to a committee on Wednesday of this week. Hopefully that'll be the final passage, and it'll go to the governor for signature, and we hope to have it no later than July 2nd. But based on the latest update, the House 2 budget was overridden and the Senate budget was restored, which decreased our overall budget by $919,610. We had some money set aside in salaries and benefits for phase 2 of our salary study for stipends and supplements and rural school mileage and that type of thing. So I deducted that $919,000 from that money that was set aside for that process. And we'll keep that in mind when we start phase 2 of the salary study. We're still able to achieve a balanced budget. And if our state funding changes again, when the final state budget is read, I will just bring that back to you in July as a budget amendment, similar to what we do in April of every year. Overall, this is what our revenue and expense comparison looks like. You see our amended budget from April, our 24-25 projected budget first reading, and then the FY 24-25 projected budget second reading that has that decrease in it. And again, you'll see at the bottom on the expenses that was taken from salaries and benefits, but it still keeps our ratio at 85% for salaries and benefits and 15% for purchase services and supplies, with no plan to use any fund balance next year. Here's a 5-year look at our revenue growth. As you can see, back in 2020, 2021, we were at $314.7 million. And as of 24-25, we've grown to $475 million. Our revenues for 24-25 are $50.2 million higher than the amended budget for 23-24. Sorry, that's incorrect. And which is a 10.5% increase in revenues. Again, we are planning to increase every cell on the teacher salary schedule by $5,691. This is in addition to the 3% increase from April of 2024 that this board approved, and it puts our first-year teacher salary at $52,450, which is $7,053 more than the FY 23-24 first-year teacher salary of $45,397, and it far exceeds the state's goal of having our minimum first-year teacher salary to $50,000 2 years early. All eligible employees will receive a 1% pay increase in addition to the 3% increase that they were provided in April, which is a 4% increase overall. In addition, all eligible employees will receive their standard step increase for their additional year of experience, which will be is somewhere between a 1% and a 2% increase. And that is something that's in our 3-year plan to make sure we true those salary scales up so that every year everyone's getting a true 2% for their additional year of experience. We are going to increase our salary schedules from 30 years that we went from 28 to 30 last year. This year we're going to go to 31 years with a plan to get to 35 years within the next 2 years. So that's in our 3-year plan. We'll do all of this and still decrease the millage from 151.8 to 141.9, and we will achieve a fiscally sound balanced budget. Is there any discussion?
Do we know off the top of our heads maybe how many employees will see that are 31-year plus employees that will see that increase? Do you mind getting me that information?
I have the dollar amount. It was going to be around $300,000, but the exact number of employees I don't know, but I'll look into that and get that information back to y'all.
So basically that means the step increase will increase from, we used to be 28, now it's 30, it goes to 31. So anybody who has worked 31 years will get the step increase.
That's
going
correct.
Up to 35. Is that correct?
We're not to 35 yet. We'll get to 31 this year with the hope of adding those last 4 years, either 2 years next year and 2 years the following year, or if the budget allows us, we'll do all the way to 35 next year if we can.
That's a positive increase. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? That concludes my information for our public hearing.
So we'll move now to public comments. Did anyone?
I think they're for the regular meeting.
I think we're going to do it twice. We're going to do it now and then clear it and then do it again. I'm sorry. Okay. So is there a gentleman that was signing up on the iPad who still wants to speak? I don't have a name. Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't see it. Mr. Lewis Marion, if you'll come up to the podium. In order to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, we ask that you honor the following guidelines. Stakeholder comments are welcomed and encouraged. However, the board will not take immediate action on public comments at the budget hearing. Any person wishing to address the board must fill out the comment card, which we have. Comments must be regarding the budget. Comments regarding complaints against employees other than district level executives or references to students other than the child of the speaker will not be heard. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and the board chair reserves the right to allot additional time or halt public comments that do not adhere to the guidelines. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. To our superintendent, board members, I'm Louis Mayrant, Jr., member of Pineville Community, and we are also a member of the Dance Club at JK Elementary School. I'm here to talk about JK School. I don't know whether this is the appropriate time, but I realize that JK has been threatened so many times to be closed. And I want you to know that it is a community school. It's a school that's been there 100 years. And we have people who have graduated from JK going on to be doctors, lawyers, public work, all walks of life. I think that Berkeley County is growing real fast. If you look around, I think you have already programmed to build 3 new schools in this area, and I know that area will be growing in the next 5 years. Probably have to build 2 or 3 new schools up there. So I'm saying to you, board members and members, whoever you are, community members, it would not be a smart idea to close JK because it is needed in that community. Those little kids would have to get up early in the morning and go to another school. Remember that we only have probably one parent in 80% of the house. Sometimes grandmothers are raising these kids. Grandmothers have a problem because after they leave first grade, grandmother can't help them with their work anymore. I have a program here from Butler High School in Hartsville. They have a unique program, doctor. I mean, you should see that program. Every student in that school say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. I visit school. They also have called president. From 4-year-old program up to 7th grade, they call the principal president. They'll learn how to be disciplined young people. We have a problem. We know that parents can't raise kids by themselves anymore. We realize that young parents have a problem. But we are here to help. We are volunteers. We are community volunteers. I have some Dance Club members back there, and I tell you what, we've been there 14 years in JK School. And we come under the bylaws and rules of this board. We're not going to do anything crazy, but we have done a lot of things. We have raised funds for playground equipment. We also have gone on a field trip with the kids. In fact, I have grandkids. I have a hat here. My little great-grandson gave me. Call me Papa. One day he might be coming to JK School. But if JK don't exist no more, you want to have an opportunity. I say to you, board, let's be visionary. We have to be able to think more than about ourselves. It's not about us. This is not about me. It's about what? Doing what is right. So I pray now that you will take this seriously and not continue to threaten JK School because it's much needed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else present who would like to address the board in the public budget hearing? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Ms. Littleton, a second by Mr. Baker to adjourn the public hearing of the 2024-2025 budget. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 5-0. The public hearing is adjourned.